Hey everyone, it's TheSlickCuber. Today we're going to review the YJ MGC 2x2. This is the new cube by YJ, and it comes after their pretty popular YJ MGC 3x3. The YJ MGC 3x3 has become a very popular 3x3 because of how well it performs even though it's only around $15. The MGC 2x2 continues that legacy. It's a 2x2 that performs just as well as any of the other top magnetized 2x2s right now, and it's at a relatively cheap price. The MGC comes in both black and a stickerless version. I got a stickerless version myself just because I prefer to get stickerless cubes when the option is there. The stickerless shades are all very nice and pretty standard. There's no problems with recognition at all. The orange and the red are a little close. I would maybe have them be a little different. Maybe the red be darker or the orange be lighter or something like that, but so far it hasn't really become much of a problem. Another thing I've noticed is that corner twisting is really easy when you're actually trying to corner twist it, but I've never had it happen in an actual solve, so, props to whoever made the internal mechanism because it's doing its job very well. Out of the box, this cube is very fast and snappy, and it has kind of a smooth, clicky feel to it. I would say it feels quite a bit like the Wapo. If you blindfolded me and handed me this cube and told me it was a magnetized Wapo, I would 100% believe you. Even the plastic on my stickerless Wapo feels exactly like the plastic on this MGC. If you like how fast and snappy and smooth the Wapo is, I think you're gonna like this cube a lot. When setting this 2x2 up, I tightened the tensions a little bit and added a lot of lube. And by a lot of lube, I mean like a lot of lube. I kept putting 2 or 3 drops in, trying to make it a little bit more slow and controllable, but then I would do a few solves on it and it wouldn't really feel very different. So I put 2 or 3 more drops in, and I did that like 6 or 7 times before it finally reached where I wanted it to. My guess is that the lube was getting stuck inside these holes in the internal edges, and that's why it was taking so long for it to really spread out on the inside of the pieces. After tightening the tensions and adding a whole bunch of lube, this has become very controllable, and it's easily my favorite 2x2. Like I said earlier, it feels a lot like my stickerless Wapo, and I'm probably never going to touch my Wapo again because this MGC feels exactly the same except more controllable and more stable. The corner cutting is also extraordinary. It does 45 degrees both normal corner cutting and reverse corner cutting. To compare it to another couple of 2x2s I own, the GAN 249 V2M definitely has a much bumpier feeling. The MGC is much more smooth and there is a little bit of a bump, but I think that's just from the internal pieces and not from the pieces themselves. Now, I can only speak to the stickerless version of these, but the only problem I ever had with this GAN 249 is that the stickerless plastic is frosted and it just kind of slips out of your fingers a lot. The MGC feels just as snappy as the GAN 249, except it's a little bit smoother and the stickerless plastic is much better. I also own a Goguan Singhan Pro, and this was my main for a very long time, and I kind of went back and forth between this and the GAN 249. The GAN 249 felt a little bit better when it came to the actual layer turns themselves, but it did have that slipping out of my hands problem, whereas this one didn't because it's just normal stickered. These two also feel very close. A main difference that I noticed is that the edges on the Goguan feels a little bit more round on my fingers, whereas the MGC feels kind of sharp. This doesn't really seem to have any effect on the performance at all. It's just kind of a preference on how you like your cube to feel in your hands. Also, one thing I didn't like about the Goguan is the core screws are kind of rounded and you can kind of feel them scraping against the inside of the pieces. I actually have a problem with this cube where black dust likes to accumulate on the screw in the middle because it's always kind of scraping on the inside. This isn't the case at all with the MGC. The screw is completely flat and it sits below the surface of this core centerpiece. Overall, this is definitely my favorite 2x2 I have ever had the pleasure of solving with. I'm not huge on 2x2 as an event. I oftentimes lose interest because the solves are just so fast that it's kind of hard for me to enjoy them. However, I have been having a blast solving with this thing the last few days, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up and solving 2x2 more in the future now that I have a cube that feels this good. I really have no serious problems with this cube, and if you like 2x2, I would definitely suggest getting it and trying it out. I think it's going to be a new main for a lot of people, especially top 2x2 solvers. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more content like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Stay awesome, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time.